Hola, mi amigos. Welcome to the Sir Gladiator Show. Now, this is a really big Sir Gladiator show today. It's very, you might say, historic. There is just such huge news to report to you today. I've got a lot of stuff here to help me to pass along this information to you. This is historic, potentially extremely historic news regarding All My Children, which is, of course, is one of the biggest soap operas of all time. And as you may know, it was canceled. Uh, it may be about to be uncanceled. Now, around the time that it was canceled, it wasn't too long thereafter that there was some talk that could come back on the internet. That looked like it could very well happen, and then it didn't. It just fell apart, and it all seemed lost, as it were. But well, now here we are again, about a year later, and the talk is ramping up again. Apparently, one of the major reasons why it didn't happen in the first place was because the company that was buying the rights or leasing the rights to the show from ABC had to make deals with certain unions, and of course we all know that unions. You look at Detroit. You know what unions can do? They destroy, right? They can destroy whole cities, states. I mean, and they destroyed All My Children's hopes of making it to the internet. They destroyed the show, what was left of it. But happily, it appears from the reporting, and I've printed out a fair bit of it here, and I may read some of it later. It appears that I believe two of the unions have finally decided to be reasonable, and they've come to a deal, at least reasonable enough, to get this thing done. I have no idea what the terms were or how it all worked, but so with the union problem taken care of, they can now actually sign the actors and actresses that they need to do the shows. And because they were doing All My Children, and they were also doing another one, One Life to Live. But I'm going to be talking about All My Children because I don't watch the other one, don't care about it. If you do, well then this is going to be good news for you too, because obviously they are doing both. All right. I have some notes here, and I might read some here. Like, perhaps you'd like to know where they're going to be filming. Are they going to be filming in New York, or are they going to be filming in Los Angeles? Well, the answer is neither. They're going to be filming, according to the reporting here, in Stamford, Connecticut, which you may well know is the home of the WWE. So we know that very successful companies can reside there. Apparently the facilities are the same facilities that are used by the TV show Maury. And if you watch that show, I guess you have my sympathy. Hopefully you don't, but the point is not that anything to do with that, is to say that those facilities are where they're going to be shooting. But more than the WWE, more than Maury, more than whatever, Stamford, Connecticut is home to something much more relevant for All My Children, it is the home of the legendary All My Children actor. I mean, the guy over the decades. And of course, you might as well just say it, Adam Chandler, right? David Canary, I believe is his real name, but you know, we all know him as Adam Chandler, right? That's where he lives. He left the show because it moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, and he was getting up in age and didn't want to move across the country. He not only would he not have to move, he wouldn't, I guess, wouldn't even need much of a commute since it's right there in his hometown, as it were, right? So you would think that there, you know, unless the guy's in poor health or something, that you know, assuming he is still, you know, physically strong and basically the same guy he was, you know, a year or so ago, they should be able to get him back for the show. And of course, if they do that, that will be huge. You know, everybody's talking about, will Susan Lucci sign back on? Will she or won't she? Maybe she will. What about her commitment to this other show on Lifetime? Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Susan Lucci, I understand that would generate big news, you know, with a lot of people. I never found her all that entertaining. She was certainly not remotely as entertaining, nor was she as important to the show, in my opinion, as David Canary, Adam Chandler, and of course Stuart Chandler as well. He played both. They were twin brothers, and he played both characters. If they get him, you know, they really don't need Susan Lucci. I mean, that's not to say you don't want to sign her. Of course, I mean, as a practical matter, you want to sign her. But, and then they don't need her anyway, because again, she was never that entertaining. But certainly, whatever perceived need they would have for her would diminish greatly. You could say evaporate, you know, if they sign David Canary. And this is his hometown. I mean, it seems like it's probably not a coincidence that they want to film there. Although it could be, who knows, right? Let's get some more details here. Okay, we're looking at 4 half-hour episodes a week. It won't be 5, it'll be 4 a week. The Friday episode would be like a recap episode. And they'll be half an hour instead of an hour. But that's not as bad as it sounds, because apparently there's going to be limited commercial interruption with the possibility of no actual commercial interruption whatsoever. Now, it's my understanding that with commercials, the 1 hour shows on TV were 37 minutes. So if you, say, had limited commercial interruption to no commercial interruption, you're not really looking at that much of a difference every day. So you're still going to get a lot of good stuff every day, 4 days a week instead of 5. You know, it's good to have a recap, right? I mean, of course, you always want to have that Good Friday cliffhanger, but I guess you can still have cliffhanger, Thursday cliffhanger, right? So that is good. They're trying to get a cable channel to also show these episodes, and I would imagine that sooner or later they would get a cable channel, whatever it might be, whether it be, you know, like the WE channel, which is a channel for women, or whether it just be some other channel that just happens to want a good high-rated show. You know, I mean, who knows how many possibilities are really out there. I mean, you're looking at, like sci-fi. Who would figure that sci-fi would have wrestling on it, right? Because, you know, it's owned by, I think it's owned by the same people that own USA, and wrestling's on USA, and anyway, so I mean, things work out that way, you know, in ways you wouldn't expect sometimes. Um, Looking through my notes here, I do want to mention while I'm looking that once again, if I could find the name of the person, that would be even better. Uh, they have managed to sign someone already. It's someone who signed on the first time. Yes, here it is. Lindsay Hartley. That is the name of the person who has already signed on. And that was quick. And it's great. It's great as well. Um, because she was, as you may recall, Kara on All My Children. She, honestly, I don't know how long she was on there, uh, but however long she was on there, she was great. She was great with David. She was on there with a number of people, but you know, when she was put with David, that's when you know, that's when her character really shined. You know, it's when she her popularity, you know, and all that good stuff. I mean, you know, she and David were a great couple on the show, and it really was a shame that they didn't get together until toward the end. But you know, as they say, better late than never, right? Um, so yeah, so this is big time stuff. Let's see, they have already signed uh, a what's called a showrunner. Is someone who I think had been with All My Children as a producer slash writer for over 20 years, I believe. Uh, Her name is Ginger Smith, and so they have a showrunner. I don't know exactly what that means, but apparently it's a pretty big deal. You know, you hear executive producer, you hear head writer, you hear titles like that. I don't know what showrunner means. Maybe it's something similar to that, you know, or one of those. I don't know, but I don't know. But apparently it's a reasonably big deal because you keep hearing about it. So anyway, hopefully there'll be more good news to report in the near future. But I wanted to fill you all, my fans, my friends, in on this huge news. This is very huge. You're looking at the potential, of course, nothing set in stone, of them beginning production in February. So you're looking at it could be 2 months or less, and they could be in production. And of course, they're going to need to sign more than just this one person, Lindsay Hartley, for production to go very far. But hopefully that will be forthcoming in the not too distant future. I know that apparently recently the fellow who plays Tad spoke very highly of Prospect Park, which is the company that would be doing this. I think it's the impression you would get from his comments. You certainly would assume that he will be one of those signing up. You figure Ryan will, the fellow who played Ryan. You know, I believe he signed up last time. You know, hopefully, you know, they'll get David. And, you know, there were two Greenleys, so easy to get one of those. There were two Babes. Get one of those. You know, you would hope. You know, and there were two Biancas. Both were very good. And if they could get either one of those, you know, these are some of the key characters that you want. For me personally, Bianca, Marissa. There were two Marissas, so once again, there were two Biancas, two Marissas. There was one David though, and one Kara. So we got Kara. We need to get David. You know, then you just start looking at the other ones. There was one Tad, one Dixie. You would want them to get her as well. I really haven't heard anything about whether Dixie would want to come back or not, but certainly I think Tad would want to come back. Talking, of course, about the people who play these characters. Um, anyway, you could go on and on with speculation, but I wanted to give you the speculation and the facts as we know them at this time, or think we know them, to the best of our ability to know them. In any event, this is really huge news. Please stay tuned to this channel for further information. Please be sure to subscribe and comment anything you like. Who do you most want to see them sign? And whatever you have to say, feel free to leave the comments as well. So until next time, thank you for tuning in to this, the Sir Gladiator Show, hosted by your friend and mine, Sir Gladiator.